We just had like a 30-second pregame conversation, and I'm already like very excited for what's to come here. So, Little Bit Naked, the premise is that we are doing an experiment in intimacy, and really the beauty of what can happen when we name the truth with witness and like what gets revealed in that process. So the reason that I'm excited for this conversation is because Audrey and I are both in what I would refer to as messy moments. And so there are lots of answers that do not feel clear, which means that this conversation potentially is very ripe for just sitting in the we don't know, which I love. Audrey, I wonder if, as you're sitting here right now, if there's anything that feels like alive that you want to share in this moment.
Absolutely. I was telling you just before, and I think it's important to share that this podcast is conceived in a way that we don't really know what we're going to talk about because that's the point. Being naked is also about surprise and surprising. And that's exactly how I feel. I'm thrilled, I'm excited, I'm scared. It's been a while that I've been off social media for different reasons and purposes. And now being back here today feels like an opening of my heart, especially with you, Rachel, because I know the quality of your presence and I'm truly blessed to be held in this way for my comeback. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. I have to take a 2-second pause to just technically ask, on your end, does it say that we're recording?
Yes.
Okay. Mine says there's an error, and I've had this happen before, and I just wanted to make sure before we got into all the good stuff. Oh, me and the technical business. Okay. Do you want to talk about why you stepped away?
Do I know why I stepped away even? I've been called to do things clear. The last experience I led was called Clear for More. And what I realized again is every time we lead an experience as an online entrepreneur, this is always for us first. And hopefully some other people resonate and come on the boat with us and decide to step into the experience with us so we feel amplified in the experience. And one of the things I've realized is that there's a lot of preaching around do it messy in the leadership space, into the online space, because we don't need to be perfect to build something and we don't need to have all figured it out to build something. And I agree with that. But there's an extent to which when you keep doing it messy, there are consequences. And I've been the one experiencing some of these consequences because of my level of mess, but also because of other people's level of mess. And I thought, what is my responsibility in this situation is to clear my end, clear my mess and start operating with the level of professionalism and the level of standards that are aligned with who I am and my values. So I've been brought to work in the back end of my business, behind the scenes, clearing the taxes, and also studying all my systems, studying my expenses, studying my investments, studying the way I operate and work with money. And it's been a very deep experience. Yes.
What have you seen or learned?
Where to even start? So for
one
those
or two things.
Yeah. Okay. So for those listening here, if you are a builder, so let's say you are an entrepreneur who started in the past 5 years, let's call it this way, and you're still experiencing with what is available to you, because we know we also are into one of the greatest technological acceleration of all times. So there are lots of tools available to us, and we might be called to test some of them and see which ones are truly useful, which one are we actually using and learning to use, because there's always a learning curve associated to each tool that we purchase or try. what kind of support do we need? Are we investing more into mentorship than we are actually investing into our own business? And this is one of the breakthrough I had, like the amount of money I've been investing in mentorship, and not denying that this is truly important to be held. This is extremely important, but also realizing that I was investing more into coaching spaces and mainly group spaces, so not really tailored to where I am and what I'm looking for, versus investing into my actual business. For instance, paying for an employee to support me in some of the tasks, and paying for systems that are useful to expand my business and stuff like that. And I've been realizing while having some conversations with other entrepreneurs that this is the case for many people
Mm.
because of the shiny object syndrome. We truly
Mm.
feel like
Oh.
it's going to bring answers and the magic keys that for some reason we believe we still don't have, when truly what we need is to take action, make decisions, and use our hands, have
Chop
our
wood,
hands,
carry water.
yeah, into the
Mhm.
business. It's
Mhm.
like, yes, if we make decisions and take actions, but we're not really into it and we can't figure out what's going on in our own business. And this honestly is for every level. Like, even if you no longer take care of your taxes, if you no longer take care of the back end, if you no longer take care of customer service, you still need to know how it's going on, because you always want your business to reflect who you are and your values.
Mhm.
And if you're completely detached, you might not even know what's going on in there, and your interpretation might be really altered, and you might even lose very important relationships with partners, collaborators, and even clients.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. The the laying the brick by brick, right, can be so unsexy. And I think, those of us with very like expansive dreams and things, right? It can be easy to be kind of seduced by the big leaps and the I want it all now, right? And neglecting this part that actually really needs like very basic tending to. What a beautiful observation.
And where are we becoming consumers rather than creators? And we talk about that a
Absolutely.
lot in terms of producing content, because most entrepreneurs now are also digital creators. They produce content in order to market their products, their offers, and in order to grow their business. So we understand that we want to scroll less than what we create online, and we all get it. But in terms of our expenses, like business expenses, it's also about, am I consuming more than I'm actually investing?
Mm, mhm,
And
mhm.
being clear about what's the difference. And it's going to be different for every person, because it depends where you're at and what's the needle mover at this point in your
Right,
entrepreneurial journey.
right. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes so much sense. Well, that sounds like a very, boring and also like, maybe a bit confronting. Did you feel confronted when you've been in the midst of these tests and evaluations over the last little while?
Yes, I am extremely confronted.
Mm,
Mm, I've also realized some of the things that I should have noticed before. And even though I was looking at all my statements and following and tracking what's going on, it's almost like my perception was blurred due to emotional belonging and emotional projections,
mm,
where I like things that were obvious and now jumping into my face when I look at them. I couldn't see them back then. So it's, for me, it it's more spiritual than it is about calculations.
yeah.
And of course, the calculation is the tangible part that helps me face reality, but it's an extremely triggering process to see, and it's not to criticize myself or regret anything. It was an experience that I needed to go through in order to understand what is an actual sacral yes,
Mm,
what is the path of a sacral yes,
Mm.
Also, what does it mean to be in my frequency? Like, not trying to do things like others because it worked for them. Although I recognize that it did work for them, it might not necessarily work for me. And what does feel true in my body and my frequency?
Yes.
This is like the spiritual journey behind all I've been saying since the beginning of the episode. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, I love that. I often find that, in particular in business mentorship spaces, that I really have to be like completely unattached to the method in order to get what's there for me. Because the thing that is so clear in my body is that whatever this business is that I'm birthing is not the here's the formula, you know? And and so being able to like stay with myself in the process of like watching all of this, like, here's the success and here's the success and here's the success, and me being like, yeah, that looks awesome and I'm super stoked for those people, and I'm not feeling that pull to do it in that way, you know? And I used to think that like there was a part of me that was just like being rebellious and like was, like, no, that's not for me. But now I'm like really clear that it's my system is like, hey, nope, not that's not it yet.
And it's always about discerning, is this resistance to a
Right.
challenge or resistance to change, or is this a not sacral yes? And
Mm,
for me, that's really what I've been learning. That's the huge lesson behind all of this, because it's not always clear the first time.
yes.
But like the more we notice and the more we pay attention and the more aware we are, the more this is going to become automatic, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm.
And I don't have the sacral yes. So basically, if it doesn't come out of my mouth as my idea, it's not the thing that's for me.
There you go. And that's the clarity point for you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
Do you feel, are you, would you say that you're through the, this phase of like reconciliation with you and your business, or is there still more unfolding?
Oh, there's a lot unfolding. I'm still in
Mm,
the middle of it. Like, yeah, I'm the eye of the tornado right now. I'm seeing all of it. And the work right now is staying calm
mm,
while being the witness of all the mess that has been created. And
mm,
it's really not dramatic. Like the way I talk about it may sound dramatic, but it's really not. Depending how we perceive it and depending the impact of all the little things that I'm discovering. But it really helps me figure out what kind of leader I want to be and what do I want to prioritize as I'm building the business. And what I want to prioritize right now is to have solid foundations that allow me to really deliver what I promised in a way that is honest and with integrity.
mm.
And I know everyone is saying that, but sometimes when you push yourself too far and much beyond what you're able to deliver, unfortunately, this is not what happens.
Right.
And for me, this is extremely important because my last offer before that was a summit, and there were a lot of people involved, and I was able to deliver what I promised, but there was an impact on me at the end. I
Mm.
put a little too far and I was not absolutely ready. And yes, I did learn. And for next year, I'm more prepared. I have new tools, I have a different strategy, and it's all perfect. But there is some change that is necessary for me to do it again with a better energy and a better health, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is that it was expensive energetically for you to put on.
Hmm.
Mm.
Absolutely. And also very fulfilling. But I just need to recognize, sometimes we don't want to recognize it, but I need to recognize that it took me several months afterwards in order to recover because I made a promise and I wanted to deliver the promise. Like I really wanted to. um, and I had to stretch myself a lot in
Mhm.
several dimensions.
Yes, yes.
and, and and meanwhile, there were also things that I couldn't plan ahead, like in my personal life and my work life, because I'm also a full-time worker. So other things happened that I had to face during that same delivery phase. And now I understand we do need that margin. Like
Mhm.
the magic thought and the like, it's always working out for me. Yes, it's working out. But you can also plan more intelligently in order for you to just feel absolutely fulfilled and at ease with your delivery. And this for me like relates to the body, because being tired and being overworked and staying up late at night and being in cortisol, all day, it's just not good for me.
No.
It's like we can deny that. So yes, you can do it. You can always do it. You can always perform and push. But really, to me, lately the lesson is like, where is life suggesting pathways that can be easier than what I plan for or what I think I have to push through.
Mhm. And it's almost like, we're being asked to raise our standards for what we require as we move through things like this, right? What's coming to mind is that like a decade ago, I used to work for an accountant, right? A tax preparation accountant. And every year, you just knew that February through the middle of April, you were not going to have a life. And you were going to be at the office 14 hours a day, and you were going to be tired and grouchy. And that was just how it was. And it was so interesting, looking back on it, it was so interesting to me how normal that was. And that these people were like, well, that's just how it is. And it's just what we're choosing. And I was like, this is awful. I have no interest in this life at all. But I think that there's a way that sometimes we tell ourselves we have to do whatever it takes, right? And yes, but also once we've seen that what it takes is expensive for us energetically or undesirable, like then how can we shift our own standards of what like we need to be held inside of an experience and what that means along with planning for it and as well as like supporting ourselves.
Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely.
mm.
Absolutely. And we can always change. Even though it did not make sense initially, we can always change. But another thing I've learned also along this whole process is communication. Because sometimes if things are no longer possible because things are not going as planned, what I've seen a lot um, in the online industry is like, well, shove it under the rug. And
Yes.
nobody will ever say anything. And if someone they're saying anything, will pretend nothing ever happened, or that it's not what we said, or that they're wrong to ask about it.
Yeah.
Something that I don't agree with. This is not a culture I agree with. So it's like communication, honest communication in a way that, look, I can no longer offer this, but I can offer this instead, or that. What do you think? Can we work our way through it? And sometimes, losing money is the best decision in certain
Yeah.
situations.
Yes, 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 yes.
And I'm very lucky because the way I communicated with people, with my clients and with my partners, made it very easy to just keep the things going, and make sure in the end they got more than what was on the paper.
Mm,
But still, this was possible because of communication and reciprocity.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes just telling the truth about where we are and what's available right now. Like I firmly believe that that leads to the best outcomes always.
absolutely. Absolutely. And this is another thing I've been noticing. It's like sometimes we say we need to set boundaries and we should not be so flexible. But what if the flexibility for your client is also serving you,
Mhm.
you know? So we need to always think with reciprocity.
Mhm.
Like sometimes we need accommodation. Sometimes the clients will need accommodations and adaptations. So like this is also part of my value inclusivity. Like, and at any moment, because one person is never going to have the same needs or the same performance over time and over the seasons. So being able to understand that and accommodate to a certain extent
Mm.
um, has been also like a big realization for me, because this is what I do at work, this is what I do in my family. So this is also what I want to do for my business, you know?
Mm. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you feel like in your accommodation, you're sacrificing your own needs?
I used to. I
Mm.
used to. Yeah. I have lost myself, especially after I had children.
Mhm.
There was a phase where I couldn't really think about myself at all, because just responding to their needs, my children's needs, would be like my day. And then at some point I'd be like, I really need a shower. Like it's a non-negotiable at this point, but it should have been a non-negotiable every day, or maybe like several times a week or something like that. But yeah, we're learning. It's like always the same process. It's like we go too far and then we come back to certain balance that feels more easy or more fulfilling.
Yes.
And I do have one child with high needs, so it's really easy for me to just like slip into always being on and always being available to answer her needs. But now I'm more acute to delegate in
Mm.
prevention, before I get to the point of being overtired or like overwhelmed. And it's the same thing at work. Like I used to just be like the woman who's always showing up as soon as someone requests something. And now I really go through a prioritization system where I'm like, if it's not an emergency, I'll tell you when I plan to be there, so you feel reassured that your request is going to be met. But I also don't feel that I have to be there right away.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
won't stop my entire day and I won't move my entire plan just because you have a request,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is new for me because I used to really be in service all the time. Um, and this is not something I would recommend to anyone. It's not. It's just like
Yes.
it's in my nature. Like I'm a Virgo. So like it's
Oh, me
really,
too.
yeah. Oh, for real. Okay. So
Mhm.
it really is in my nature to, for those who believes in astrology, like this is how I show love,
Yeah.
service.
Yes.
It's all fine. It's just we need to also show love to ourselves. So like, what is a service to myself? And that's been the first question now. It's like, is it a service to myself to disturb my entire day for this thing that is not even like urgent and that is not gonna affect anyone if I don't go today? No, this can remain in my mental load and on the list until I get there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I relate so much to what you're saying. I, um I too have a child who is high needs. Less high needs now, but he's a teenager and he just came back this week from his first, like, he flew on a plane by himself. And when he came back, he was sharing about his trip, and it's a 2.5 hour drive from the airport to our home. And we drove in the car together, and when we arrived at home, we had not even gotten through him recapping day one yet. And so we've been in like a 4 day story of all the things, and it's there's an old version of me that would have just been like, okay, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to put the toothpicks in my eyelids until you're done talking, and now I'm like, okay, I can handle this much right now, and then we're going to have to table it until tomorrow, and then like we can talk about it at dinner tomorrow night, and then like, and it might take, I want you to share every detail you want to share, but it's not going to be like all in like one fire hose session. Oh, and that's been really hard for me to like take in all of this information, because he's really chatty in such a good way, right? He's very expressive verbally, and so receiving everything that he wants to share, running it through my nervous system, and like staying connected to how am I feeling in this moment,
Mhm.
and really wanting to like meet him, but also being like, okay, now I feel really tired because that was just a lot, has been really it's been a really powerful like learning and growth experience for me over the years.
And I want to jump on something because you said I wanted to meet him.
Mhm.
That's the thing. Lately, a mentor told me, and it truly landed. It's like she said, I feel like you want to be emotionally held
Mm.
and emotionally met. And then I had never heard this, like this verb in that way,
Ah.
to be met.
Oh.
Because sometimes we want to meet others where they're at, but we don't think about being met.
Oh, I
And
do.
oh, that's perfect. But I honestly, something clicked in my brain, and especially that my first language is French, and we don't use this verb in this way in French. Like it's just something that I heard in English,
Mhm.
and it was absolutely new for me. And honestly, like it really clicked to be met because I feel like I've been the one going to meet others,
Yes.
even situations, like to meet situations, like to rise up to a situation. But I like, what about I stay here and I see who can meet me,
Well,
you
and
know?
this staying here is actually us meeting ourselves. So if I'm meeting me and what feels best to me is I sit here. And then if other people show up, cool. If other people don't show up, cool. I'm still doing the thing that like is me meeting me, right? So there's this whole different level of like satisfaction that becomes available and not relying on other people, like our needs being met as an outsourced thing, right?
Mhm.
But the natural, like, energetic match for meeting yourself is that other people are going to reflect that meeting of you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And really in the being, like just it's not even about our needs, but just feeling that
Mhm,
you're met. I don't know, there's something magical about this.
mhm.
Yeah.
Tell
And
me
it's
how tell me how you're playing with that in your life.
oh God. Okay, there are things that I'm going through right now, but I cannot speak about them publicly. Um, yeah, but if I want to summarize, okay. So let's say right now I am in a situation where I had to negotiate with someone with a merchant who took unauthorized money on my account. And so what I did is that I did all the procedure. I wrote the first email saying, "Oh, it looks like there's a mistake, and could you please put the money back, based on our payment agreement?" And I was not met. So I followed up and then said, um, because because the money was not put back in my account, I'm following up, and in 48 hours, if the money is not there, I will have to move forward with my financial institution because, protecting my assets, right?
Mhm.
And playing fair. So I was not met. And then I thought, okay, wait a second. Like, how far do I want to go with that? Because again, about relationships and, do I just leave the money gone, or like what how do I feel about this? And then I felt, no, I no longer trust this merchant. I can no longer have a business relationship with this merchant. So I moved forward in my financial institution, and and then this is the cosmic joke right here. But basically, what happened is that my financial institution, although I made all the phone calls to prevent any further problem, something happened that it didn't work, and then the merchant kept charging my account after resiliation of the contract. And anyway, now I'm in a fight with the financial institution. I'm in a fight with the merchant, and I thought, okay, here I'm not being met. Like I'm not being met into a game that is fair. But every day I need to meet myself and see, like, do I want to continue playing that game? Because that's a hard one. Like that's not a fun one. That's
Hmm.
yeah, and but remembering my values, like why am I doing this? Because I'm protecting my assets. Why am I doing this? Because I'm someone who is playing fair play. I'm playing by the rules. It's like, if this is not on our payment agreement, you should not take this money in my account. It's like end of the story, you know. But I'm protecting my assets over protecting my reputation or partnership with this merchant, because obviously like the partnership is over now. And I needed to go through some grief to understand, like, okay, I understand the consequences of that. I also understand the consequences of being in that fight with my financial institution, because I may change financial institution entirely and I've been with them for years. But now like the trust is not there anymore. And I'm like, I'm sure that there's a place in the world where people would want to do business like I do, you know, and mistakes can happen. That's not the point. Like everybody can make a honest mistake. So it's not about that, but it's more about, as I said at the beginning, like, are you doing it clear or are you doing it messy?
Yeah.
And for me, it really goes back to that. It's like, where am I meeting myself here? Is because I had an agreement with myself that I'm doing it clear. So now I'm clarifying all of this. So it's just one example. And I would say that in my relationships, it's a little bit the same thing, like at work or in my couple relationship, where like I'm really glad to offer everything I have and share everything I have. But to a certain extent, there are also moments where, you know, my energy is lower, or how can I say, like, this is not my priority. So even if you're freaking out about something, if this is not my priority and like my reasoning tells me that there's no problem or emergency, like I might not react or respond in the way you expect, but I would also love to be met in that, and for you to be open to receive my reasoning and try to brainstorm with me, instead of like, hey, I throw you that request, so you should answer or you should react, you know.
Mm.
So that's my way of like holding, not setting, but holding boundaries. It's by meeting
Yes.
myself, you know.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I just feel such refinement from you around that, like such like you know, like bringing things into alignment, you know.
It's really about that, because again, and that's something that someday I'm gonna share more in depth, but right now I'm just, you know, being very careful about what I share. But the main idea is to remember that signs are always there since the beginning.
Mm,
And you might choose to see them or choose to ignore them. And I was the one to choose to ignore them for several months. And I mean, I'm fully responsible for this, and I'm not beating myself up at all. I'm just being clear, you know?
yeah.
It's like next time the signs are showing up and the signs are clear, and of course it's easier to connect the dots backward than
Yes.
forward.
Yes, yes, yes.
But I had a lot of data. I had a lot of data, and I was still like, oh, da da, like everything's all right. Yeah, like convincing myself. And this
Mm,
is what I meant. Like when I said sacral yes, for some people it's just gonna be like full body yes, or intuition, or just the knowing, like the inner knowing of like something's for me, something's not for me.
mhm,
But again, sometimes there are so many external triggers or factors or uh, influences that we're gonna convince ourselves otherwise. And yeah, I think this is the game of life as well, you know. Like
very
I
much.
channeled my guides yesterday, and I thought, why, like, why did you guide me through this? Because I even like I'm constantly in contact with the guides and spirit guides, and they told me, because you had more to learn about
Mm,
this. You had more to learn about holding your own frequency and, you know, learning to make decisions from that frequency.
mm, mhm.
And I thought, okay, now I don't think I can forget this, because now it's
Yeah.
like weeks of trying to repair and clear that up. So I won't forget it. It's not like a minor consequence. It's like we talk about thousands of dollars. So I can't ignore it. Like I could ignore it. I could ignore it, but I choose not to. And yeah, it's interesting. It's a very interesting process.
What's coming up for me in this moment is around when we decide who we want to do business with.
Mhm.
in particular as it relates to like mentors and things like that.
Mhm.
You know, I have had a wide range of experiences of what I would call forgiving people's humanity.
Yes, of course. Mhm.
And also being like, there's something I want to learn here, right?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
There's something I'd like to be exposed to here, and being like,
Right,
"Oop, that might be a little bit of a red flag," and like, and so I just sort of like put them in my back pocket, and I'm like, I'm
right.
gonna go forward, and I can see these things. And what I am noticing more and more is that my system has less tolerance for like stacking the red flags in my back pocket, you know?
Mm.
That like, yes, you can be a human, and there are certain like requirements of like, if I'm going to engage, these are the things that I need to see values wise from this person. These are the things that I
Mhm.
need to experience. Um, because I think that how people see the world is transmitted in everything that they do.
Yes.
And so you can't just be like, oh, I'm just coming for this piece of information
No, you
and
can't.
receive simply that. It's like you get that and you get all the distortions that come with it. And then,
Exactly.
like, how much work do you want to put in to be like, oh, wait, no, that's not. And
Oh my
so,
God.
yeah,
Mhm. It's a relationship.
yes,
Yeah. And it's a whole thing, as you
yeah.
said.
It's a
Yeah,
whole relationship, not a compartmentalized relationship.
exactly. And I love what you said about stacking red flags because I call this gaslighting myself,
Mm.
into the situation. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is a honest mistake, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and
So many.
like, but I'm a guardian of peace. Like I want a peaceful world, and like I just like, and this is where like martyrdom, or and I mean it's not real martyr. Like I'm not fixed on a cross or something. But what I
Yeah.
mean here is that like this is where sometimes we talk about self-sacrifice, but I don't see it quite the same way because it's really like you and your mind um, negotiating to just take the entire burden on your shoulders when the responsibility was not necessarily yours in the first place. And I
Right.
do believe in shared responsibilities and in proper communication and in trying to solve everything amicably until it's no longer possible, you know?
Mhm.
And yeah, humans are humans and they don't always think the same way, they don't always share values. So there are moments in life where it's disappointing because you really wanted to love someone and you
Mhm.
can still love them, but you might not love the way you develop the partnership, for instance, you know?
Or the way you feel in their presence, or the way.
You have to like try to constantly mask or be someone different because in the end it was not necessarily the space that is meant for you. And again, it's not like a good or a bad thing, but it's just maybe not a match. So being
Yes.
conscious, and it's all about like self-awareness and self-consciousness, but being conscious of these things as soon as possible. And it really also is changing the way I'm consuming. So that's why, like, it's all going back to what I was saying at the beginning. Being a creator more than a consumer, but also being clear in how we consume. And for this year specifically, and it's funny because I almost didn't go with my new mentor because of that, because she works with a minimum of 3 months. And I was like, honestly, I no longer do anything like under a contract or a long term. Like I really need a break from all of these things. And it's not even because all the mentors were a bad experience or anything. It's really not about that, but it's just the way I felt when I've outgrown the space or when I have the click realize that, oh, I no longer a match to that space.
Mhm.
It's time to self eject myself, but I'm attached. So I'm going to keep paying because I'm a woman of my word until I realized money is taken in my account without permission. And there are like a few extra payments that were not part of the payment agreement. And I'm wondering, do they do that to everyone? Or
Mm.
me?
Mm.
And then I realized,
Mm.
okay, that's interesting. And this could be like an entire other podcast episode because I've made research about different types of frauds. And that's interesting because I've noticed that even really huge company, like let's say internet carriers or cell phone carriers, stuff like that, sometimes they're gonna charge you just a few cents more than what they're supposed to. And of course, you're never gonna contest that. But if they do that to, I don't know, like 100K consumers, well, for them, that's a lot of money in their pocket,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, that's been interesting. And we live in a world where there is institutional gaslighting, and there is um this fatigue from the consumer trying to just trying to speak to someone at the consumer service is now almost impossible. Like, you either speak with a bot or you send an email that is lost in the ether. And if you get an answer, it's typically like an automatic reply saying that they're going to answer in 48 hours, and it never happens. So it's been a very interesting process to also like realize, okay, now when I purchase something, I also make sure that this company, like if I have an agreement with them, I'm sure that the consumer service is well rated and it's a good one, and that I can actually get service if something happens.
That feels like so much work
Wow.
on the front end.
But it's like, for me now, it's like a non-negotiable, like,
Yeah.
because everything is energetic. So it's like, for me, that's my new standard, And I know, like, now I see all the time and work and energy that I'm gonna save just because I'm entering in partnerships with these kinds of businesses and people
Yeah, that makes sense.
that care, that truly care. Like, they're still in this mindset of, my consumer is not just paying my salary. My consumer is someone I offer a service to, and there's a big difference between the two.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really, we are in interesting times, aren't we?
It is, yeah, because the cultures are changing.
Yes.
Cultures are changing, and especially with the international way of consuming now. It's like there's no barriers. Like, you can buy something in any country nowadays. Like, there's no problem. And we need to remember there's also like cultural aspects to the way we consume and the way we serve.
Yes.
And just being mindful of that as well, because if there's a big clash, that might become a problem. And even the laws in different countries are not the same. So yeah, so these are the things we don't think about until we need to think about it.
Yes. And you're like, they have all my attention right now. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So standards and boundaries and values is really what I'm like, just like feeling awash in right now as we have this conversation.
And really, bottom line, it's identity and how you train people to perceive you.
Yeah.
It's like, if you let people do certain things, then you're agreeing to that, and you're giving consent to this situation. And even if you can forgive it and live with it, if you give consent once, it means that you give consent in general until you remove your consent. You know what I mean? And energetically, it works the same way. It's like ethics and energetics, they work the same way. So once you give consent to a situation, then life keeps throwing it at you until you get fed up with it, and until you react. But there's a way to avoid this whole chain, because if from the beginning you're more aware and conscious and decide consciously that you're not consenting to that, and that you take the proper measures to just like make it clear that it's not, like, it's a non-negotiable or it's not acceptable, well, then life is going to throw different things at you.
Excuse me. I was thinking that the thought that I was having is, I've not had these experiences. And I was feeling grateful for not having had these experiences.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't think that I'm available for that. But
yeah, either you're not available, and I would say, like, I'm gonna tell you the truth, because of all the work it takes to clear those things, most people will just shove them under the rug. Even if it happens to them, they'll be like, you know what, I choose not to put my time and energy on this, and I completely respect their choice. Because I swear, I know other people to whom it happened, and they decided not to enter the arena, and it's
Mm-hmm.
totally fine. And I understand why. You know.
Well, it's funny because I submitted an amended tax return or
Uh-huh.
a few years back in February,
Okay.
and I received a letter back from the IRS in March saying we need more information. I submitted further information. I got a letter back where they said we've rejected we didn't receive the information, and I was like, yes, you did. And so for
Mm-hmm.
the last 3 months, whenever I have the stamina, I call the number that they've given me to call, and I sit on hold for 90 minutes to
Mm-hmm.
2 hours, and then my phone call will get disconnected.
There you
And
go.
I'm just like, oh my God. And finally, last week, I called again and I got an actual human.
Oh,
And I was like, okay. And she was like, actually,
very
it's in
cool.
process. And anyways, but you're right. What you're saying is if you don't hold it as important, if you don't show up and say like this doesn't work for me, right? Like then like it makes a lot of sense to me that like those that energetically you're like, okay, take my money. You can have my money.
Yeah, because it's always an exchange, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, like that's why I completely respect people's choice, because when I give my time and energy to that thing, it's also an exchange. And time
Mm.
is money, energy is money, right?
Oh.
So for me, it's because one of my deep value is justice. And
Uh-huh.
this triggered the value of justice within me, and also because we talk about thousands of dollars and not just like $50, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
um, because I had other situations where it's like, okay, $50. I'm like, all right, like, look, it's not worth half of my day, you know. Definitely
Mm.
not. You know?
Right,
So,
right. You're like, that's expensive.
so there is an assessment that is necessary, you know, to understand what's the exchange,
Yes.
and do I desire this exchange, and if not, like, you just let it go, and that's part of the process. That's part of the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yes, it's very interesting, and what you just mentioned is what I was explaining earlier. It's like the strategy to cause fatigue to the consumers in order for them to never fight back. And this
Seriously.
is a real strategy. Like, and what I want to tell everyone here, like who is listening, is that AI is your new friend and your new assistant for all these situations. I am using Gemini especially for this situation where
Mm.
I get really good organization of my case and
Uh,
of my legal file, and of like what is the next step and how you should present your next step to the financial institution or the ombudsman, because I'm going there. Like, I'm super ready. I'm like, if you don't answer by Monday, the ombudsman, and it's like it's another level then, because what is the worst part is that then everybody gets penalties, but this could have been resolved in the first place if there was proper consumer service in the first place by one email.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
would have been super easy, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I love that I actually used AI for something similar not too long ago on behalf of my parents, where I was like, this doesn't make sense. Help me make it make sense. Show me the process, right?
Right.
Um, which, would be wonderful if the companies themselves would lay that out on some sort of page. But anyways, oh, this is so good.
I think when people think about naked, they don't think they're going to talk about credit card statements
This
and
is not what I thought we would be talking about today at all, but I love it.
it's part of discovering who we are and what truly matters to us. And again, the exchange, like, where do we want to invest our time, energy, and resources, and where it makes sense for us. And there's no right or wrong answer, really.
And getting intimate with our money, right? Which is something that
Yes. Yes.
so
Another
many of
product
us.
I'm so ready
Yes.
for it, because that's the thing again, like the money strategy is unique to everyone. For some people, it's about generating more money. For some people, it's investing smarter. For some people, it's like saving more money and then investing it. So there's so many types of investment strategies and financial strategies, but we've been drilled to just make more, 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 more. But then at some point when you just make more and can't hold it or can't like be smart with your expenses or anything, then it's just like money circulating in the ether and it's like come and go, come and go, come and go. And it's like you don't really own more.
Yeah.
So ownership is also a big part of the equation, but that would be another another episode.
Well, and I was going to say, you know, like a primary money strategy for a lot of people is simply avoidance. So
Yeah.
all of the things you said, like, I don't want to pay attention to any of these things. So I'm just going to like, I think that's for a lot of people, the compulsion to make more, right? Is because I don't want to actually look at what's here and what's really needed and what I really need to do here. Like, what are the choices that I need to make that are in alignment with my values? So I'm just gonna.
Yeah, because it's very triggering. Like
Yeah.
I have to tell you, it is triggering, it is energy demanding, it is like focus demanding. And I really had to take a few days off work to actually like just put my head into it because this year I had so many expenses in my business. It's insane, but also because I'm gaining literacy and again I use Gemini. He's like my best accounting assistant. I'm like, how do I set this as an expense, like to make it fair, like by the law? And you know, I want my file to be like all good by the law, by the rules as I submit it. So if there's an inspection, because it can happen, I don't even freak out. I'm like, here it is. Like I don't even have to stress over it. It's just like done. And like this level of literacy is also part of my financial strategy because the more my expenses are deducted, like the less taxes I pay in Canada, especially.
Yep.
Because I pay almost like 50% taxes, so that's a lot. So, but I need to sit down and look at like what's going on in my life and you know what's available to me, and this takes time. But when you're aware of it and when you know how to play with it, then you're just richer.
Yeah.
So there's a return associated to that. There's a return on investment from your energy and resources when you are focused and you're clear about why you're doing this, you know.
And it feels like setting a very strong foundation, right? To build on top of with
build a business. Yeah.
I mean, well, even just like even just the commitment and devotion to like doing it clear.
Yes. Yes.
And
thank you for getting it.
doing it clear and like knowing where you are coming from and that matches with where you want to go, and like you building the systems and foundations like financially around that feels very you know, like the visual I'm getting is like House of Cards. You know, like sometimes we build things very precariously and then we're like, oh shit, it fell down, you know? And it's like, this feels so much more like, all right, here's a brick and here's another brick. And like much more like, it has a lot more like fortitude to it is the feeling I'm getting.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's like this legend of the three little pigs, you know?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Bricks, you know, herbs or paper.
That's right.
Like, what kind of house do you have? Like, what kind of space is holding your entire like business structure and business backend? And yeah, I've even like, oh my god, I would have so much to say. Like now I'm unlocked, but like even the systems we're using, like this year, as I was analyzing my expenses, I realized I have like I'm overpaying for like 5 or 6 AIs, and I'm not even sure like why I use them. Like, do I need all of them? I realized that I was overpaying for my Google Workspace because I took like a super big plan. But actually, when I enrolled, there was just 2 choices, like personal or business, and then they made like tiers. And I never checked into it. I was like, wow, it's so expensive. Like, I'm not even sure if I should pay for this anymore. Like, I don't need any of like what's included. And then with Gemini, my new friend, to realize that there are other tiers that are much less expensive, but they're hidden somewhere. Like you need to click a lot of things in order to get to change your plan. You know what I mean? But like when you have support, it's like it's worth the 5 minutes to like, you know, save like a significant amount of money every month because you don't even need that. It's not scarcity, it's just essentialism. It's like I don't need this.
Yeah.
Like I pay for air. You know? I pay for a level of complexity I don't even want, you know?
Yeah, you're like, "I'm paying for 50 email addresses in my business, and it's just me right now."
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's like, can we just build like one brick at a time? And yes, quantum leaping is cool, but like once you get there, then it's easier to adjust once you're there in that new reality.
mhm,
And like I feel like we've been doing manifestation like all upside down, honestly.
mm-mm, mm. Say more about that.
I don't know. It's like we often hear like act like if you're already there.
Uh-huh.
So we're kind of bypassing whatever skills is required
Uh-huh.
in order to have the foundations that can keep you there. So
Right.
it's like you reach the point there and then you go back where you were because yes, you can quantum leap if you act and pretend like you're there. But meanwhile, all the processes and skills were not re- um, acquired.
Yeah, you haven't built like you've built kind of the shell or like the costume of the identity without actually embodying the
Yeah,
identity.
again, it's a costume, so it's not actually real. And
Mhm.
that's what I'm realizing as well. Like, and nowadays, like we live in an era where everything can be a lie. Like that's
Mm.
the era of everything can be a lie. So we need discernment. We need to be informed consumers. We need to be clear about who we are and what we're looking for and what makes sense because we're just gonna be like consuming anything that is brought in front of our face at this point, you know?
God.
It's no, but it's true. Like I
I
just it's just
know.
philosophy. It's pure philosophy. Like I'm loving this conversation because and we need to teach that to our children because algorithms are extremely strong and they're getting stronger, you
Yeah,
know?
I think, that's the place where knowing the difference between like being able to feel for what is true and organic as opposed to like what is fake is really important.
Absolutely. Hmm.
It's actually a conversation that I have with my son often because he's very energetically sensitive, right? And
Hmm.
what that means is that the world is a very confusing place for him sometimes. and
Absolutely is, yeah.
and so I will like we'll literally walk through examples of like um this is sort of a weird example, but it's the one that's coming to mind. Hang on just one second. I need to let this dog out. Otherwise, go. No, she's not going to go. All right. What's your deal?
Just like this conversation is way too interesting.
She doesn't know what she wants. On the topic of like gender fluidity, right?
Hmm.
My son has a lot of classmates at school
Hmm.
who identify as lots of different places on the spectrum.
Right.
And he's very like he's also very justice minded. He's very committed to like honoring who they are and what their pronouns are and all of these things, which I super love. And at the same time, he gets frustrated when people um, miss it, right? And there's a way in which I'm like, well, when you can actually feel from somebody that they're fully embodying the thing that they are asking you to identify them as, like, do you notice that people have struggles with those people? And he's like, no, like they never do. And I'm like, so the students who are maybe kind of like more unsure or more like trying things on just for fun, like, do you notice the difference? Or he's like, oh yeah, that makes sense why people don't call them the right pronouns because they're not actually like embodying the thing. um you got muted. Oh, there you go. um and so it's just interesting to like have to be able to walk through and be like, is this real, is this fake, is this real, is this fake, can you feel it,
Hmm.
as opposed to like is it what it says it is, and can you
Hmm.
feel the difference? And that is a skill that like I think collectively we have been, taught out of, conditioned out of.
Yeah, and it's going back to your own signal. So again, it's about, can you be clear in your frequency even when there's marketing, even when there are lies, even when people are confused, even when there's chaos, even when we are in a transition. And these are very challenging situations in which it's easy to lose the sound of your signal.
Hmm.
And this is exactly what my spirit guide said. It's like you went through that lesson because you were unable to remain in your own frequency while navigating all this. So now you will never forget. Like these kinds of situations are meant to influence your frequency so you don't make the same decisions.
Hmm.
Okay. So like now I won't, like now I have a new shield, you know?
Mm.
I have
What
a
are
new
the things that you do, or like rituals, practices, things like that, that like help you really connect to your own frequency?
For me, it's, I think you do the same thing. For me, it really is going into nature for ideally like 2 to 3 hours.
Mm.
And in the summer, I really commit to doing that at least once a week by myself. Like I also go with the children. And whenever we can, we also go like eat in the backyard and stuff like that. But
Mm.
really going deep into nature immersion and ideally in a spot where there are no other people. Hopefully, I'm lucky because it's possible where I live. I know in other spaces in the world you can do that. Um, but a place where you can be connected to nature by yourself, like not in a conversation, not in a sport, not trying to accomplish anything or like doing business on your phone while you're sitting on the grass, like not even reading a book, just like be with. This is the most powerful way of clearing for me, like forest bath, beach bath, like these.
Mhm.
I
Yes,
also
yes.
love in the winter because I live in Canada, so it's very cold. I do love salt baths, so either like sea salt or magnesium Epsom salts are very helpful with, essential oils or some dried flowers. I really love these baths because they also help me like shed skins. So all
Hmm.
really can see visually like the skin that it no longer belongs to that body and needs to go, so, and the exfoliation process with the bath, like these two things are my easiest and most preferred ways of clearing, and when I can connect to the love in my heart. So this I realized yesterday. Like I have moments, like cycles in my life where I realize this. When I truly feel the love in my heart, like no matter what, like no matter the challenges and difficulties, this is the most powerful clearing force, really. Yeah.
Mm. Hmm. Hmm.
Just feeling the love. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was also the thing that I was sort of wrestling with in my mind there was that if you're not in your frequency, connecting to the love in your heart is going to feel more challenging, is how my mind sort of envisioned that. So it's
Of
like,
course.
oh, it feels like kind of a catch-22. Like
It is.
connect to the love in your heart. Oh, but I'm not in my frequency, like to get into your frequency, but you got to be in your
Exactly.
frequency to,
But I
yeah.
feel it's happening automatically when you do these practices that help you be with.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for me, it's nature and bats, but like for some people, it's going to be running. For some people, it's going to be, I don't know, like appreciating a meal at the restaurant. Like everybody's different and it depends on your sensory profile as well.
For
But it's
sure.
like a way for you to get in the zone, with yourself. Because I've been noticing that before I would stay in avoidance by always wanting to do social activities where I'm never with myself, and it was fun, it's enriching, and it's like it's necessary as well for me to socialize, but
Yeah.
also was kind of missing the point where sometimes I just need, and it's not like every day, all the things, but like a 2 3 hours by myself. Yeah.
Mm.
Especially as a mother, of young kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Because I'm constantly solicited, and my work is also I'm a healthcare professional, so I'm also always in service, like at work and my business with my children. So it's really important for me to have like this resourcement
Yeah,
outside the social bubble.
absolutely. Absolutely. Ah, that feels good.
Yeah, it's a very. Thank you for this conversation. I was not expecting that.
Me either.
Too fresh in my mind to even talk about it, but I felt very grounded talking about all these things. Yeah.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Anything else you want to add before we complete?
I'd like to thank you for this a little bit naked opportunity.
My pleasure. It's so nice to have you.
Yeah, and I hope people who want to share their experience or questions or comments will keep the conversation going as you post some of the clips or as we hear this conversation, because we need to be able to talk about it and stop making it taboo. You know, finances are not taboo. Like, there's something we work for, there's something we're building, and especially as women, we are the first generations of women building wealth. So, I mean, in North America at least. So,
Yes.
so I really want women to be conscious of that. And it's not about bragging. Like, bragging about your finances doesn't mean anything, but it's really about getting intimate with your finances, as you were saying. And I really like what you said. I think you summarized it perfectly. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, she's not going to stop. We might
It's
just
just
be
part
stuck
of the
The intimacy with finances really feels potent. And it's funny, I will just share that I turned 50 next month.
No way.
And I've received a download that I am to enter into some type of year-long experiment that I bring people along with. And money is one of the topics that has come up as potential. So like that, getting intimate with like what is actually here and having really open, candid conversations about that. So stay tuned. That may be a thing. It may be another thing. Not
Right?
sure
It's
yet.
gonna be amazing. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be really amazing.
Yeah. Well, if you are watching this, we would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Sorry, I'm getting an echo again. This is my cue to wrap it up.
Yes, it is. The sign.
There it was. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Have a my God, I can't. Have a
Have a
nice
day.
day. Have a day.
Thank you, Audrey. Oh, God. Okay, what happened?